V'zehu inyan kavanas Moshe, and this is the intention of Moshe. Sheshal cham l'tores haaretz, that he sent the spies to spy out the land. Hainu lefi shem alma diskasya shalamayla mebichinas haaretz, since they were from the hidden world, the Ohr Bamidbar, that was higher than the concept of the land. Lechein lehem yalu es haaretz, therefore they will elevate the land. Now the pasuk says, so it says the lands of the living, two lands, and the concept of Rachel, who's this concept of Malchus of Atzilus, like we said, the revealed world of the Dibur. She needs elevation, because it's the concept of, like it says in Koheles, that her Mishlei, that her legs go down, Yordos Mavis, go down towards death. The Malchus descends down into the Olamos, where there's Klippos for Birurim. For the purpose of elevation, Shelach Nikra Eretz Canaan, that's why the land of Israel is called the land of Canaan. Canaan, that was first in the under the ownership of Canaan, who was cursed and so forth. The concept of klalos and klippos. V'shar zayin amamin, and the rest of the seven nations al derech mashakasu binyan bas sheva, like the concept of Bas Sheva, Shaisaroi LeDavid Misheshis Yimei Bereishis, was fitting to be a wife for David from the 6 days of creation. And first was, so to speak, captured underneath the ruling of Uriah. So it's like the concept of the Klippos that ruled over the land of Israel. And like it's known that the 7 nations of Israel were the worst nations. They were, which is why we have the mitzvah to destroy them. And look over there in Zohar about the Maisa Uri and Bas Sheva and the Ramaz. So in the land of Israel, it says the Canaani was in the land. Lecha Yud Beis Mavur b'makom acher binyan Cham avi Canaan, and it's explained in another place concerning Cham, the father of Canaan. Shem ipso, this kava small, that from the leftovers of the left side nishtal shlu gimel klippos. Shalamat minoga, so that's where it comes from, these 3 klippos that are below the klippos noga, the impure klippos, from the leftovers of the left side. So if Cham is the left side, I guess Canaan would be the psolas. V'zeu inyan aror Canaan is the concept how Canaan was cursed. V'shahaya b'aretz hu al derech b'nacha shel Chava. So I guess Shem, Cham, and Yafis might correspond with Chagas, and Shem, I guess, would be Chesed, and Cham would be Gvura, and Yafis would be Tiferes or something. So the psolis of the Kava small might be Canaan then. V'shaya ba'aretz hu al derech b'nacha shel Chava, and this that the Canaani was in the land, so it's like the concept of the snake that's cursed, that came onto Chava, and then went into Chava, that it had his way with her, so to speak. It's a concept of the Tumah of Bia. Knizker be Parshas Chai, Dav Kuf Kaf Beis, Amud Beis, Validesh Amdu al Har Sinai, Paska Zu Hamasanachash, and through them standing on Har Sinai, by Har Sinai, so the what that the snake put into Chava from this, so to speak, bia, the zuama that was left over from the snake in her went away. The concept of menstruation and so forth. Therefore, they could elevate the land because the concept of the zuama from the snake went away, and so the eretz, which is the feminine concept, is now pure and can be elevated from the zuama of the nachash, which corresponds with the kanani in the eretz. That she needs a concept of elevation from this descent. It's like the concept of the exile of the divine presence. This is what it says in the Me'orei Or. How this is like the Galus HaShechina. It says Galus HaShechina Hu Redus Malchus Shel Kol Olam HaTachton Mimenu, that the exile of the divine presence is the descent of Malchus of each world into the world that's below it. This Malchus Ta'asiyah La'olam HaKlipos, to the point where Malchus of Asiyah goes down into the world of Klipos, Shetachteya, that's below it. And that's the main concept of the exile of the divine presence, is the Malchus of Asiyah into the Klipos. And the Yair Nesiv on the Me'orei Or explains, look what it's brought in Likutei Torah from the Arizal and Gilas Eicha, and you can understand this idea well of Ayin B'Kavanos Leil Pesach. And look what it talks about in the night of Pesach. We have to have this tremendous giloy of mochin, the godless, in order to get the Shechina out of the Klipos and so forth. Vayin B'Sof HaSefer Erech Talmud Bavli Ad Kol Neshama. Look at the end of the book. I guess in Me'orei Or, the end of Me'orei Or, where it talks about Talmud Bavli, how it's b'mach shakim. That's the concept of elevating the Shechina, the Torah Shabbal Peh from the Golus Bavel specifically. And therefore it's called the land of Canaan, that the Malchus of Asiyah is enclosed in exile in the Klipos. V'ayin b'Me'orei Or Os Aleph Simin Kuf Kavav B'Zor Chelek Aleph Parshas Noach Ayin Gimel Aleph. V'lahalos misham, and to elevate Malchus from there, it's to drawing down from above. And like it's brought in the verse, lift up the heads of the sons of Israel. Aaron Shushvina de Matronisa. The Aaron is the escort of the bride. That's drawn down a strength from the masculine world, the concept of the masculine, to elevate the concept of the feminine, like by the lighting of the candles. So Aaron is, so to speak, the one who goes and elevates and escorts the bride back upwards from where she is, to shine from the darkness. Lahalus and Nukfa, to elevate the feminine. Vito ish echad kol shevet, and with him is one man for each tribe. Yud Beis Gvulei Alochsun, the Zeranpin, which is the concept of the 12 diagonals of Zah that go down into the lower worlds. The Merkavta Tatak Ke'inyin Lecha Dodi Likraskalach, like the idea of go, my beloved, to greet the bride, which is the concept of Malchus and the Olamos that are elevated, the Aliyas Olamos on Shabbos. And how much more so, not just elevation of Malchus upwards, but how much more so when we're talking about elevating her from the exile and the captivity. And look what's brought in the Mamar Kiseitze concerning the idea of when you see in captivity a beautiful woman and so forth, that refers to the soul as it's an exile in the body, and the way to elevate this neshama is through drawing down masculine waters. Ein Sham, look over there. It's a similar idea of how you have this, so to speak, feminine concept in captivity, and you marry her in order to elevate her from the captivity. Or you have the exile of divine presence, and you draw down masculine waters, a hamshacha melamayla, that's the concept of the masculine, in order to elevate the Shekhinah out of the exile. Vechina malchus shetes firos shela yodim lamata. So to malchus, it's 9 spheros of it descend downwards. V'nikra midbar b'mem psuchachul, when it's called the desert, or the speech medaber with a open mem that gives unique and so forth. Like it's brought in the midbar in on the Mamar on Bamidbar Sinai v'tzarich lios mizos olamina midbar chulu, when you have to have the idea of, like it says in Shir Hashirim, who is this that comes up from the desert, that is elevated from that state. I guess he's hinting to the concept of the mem stuma, the Mamar sasum, that the difference between the mem sucha and the mem stuma is like the difference between speech and thought, like a open speech and a closed speech. It's like we're saying here with the two concepts of the hey katana Rachel, and hey katana hey gedola leah, the speech and the thought. Excuse me. And like it's brought in the Mamar about you'll be engaged to me. How you'll be engaged to me with charity. With tzedakah is like the concept of Yisod and Malchus. Because the wicked surrounds the tzaddik. It's a concept of the klipos that surround and capture, so to speak, the malchus. You have to elevate the malchus from that state of the galus of Shekhinah or the shivya. Therefore, you have to have this concept of getting rid of the bad, like the travels through the desert to get rid of the nachash, and akrab, and so forth. And look in Tanya about how we're redeemed through charity, through the tzedakah. It's also a concept of elevation. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach Hamshach Aliyos Allah. So Yehei Shmei Rabba is an idea to draw down. Shmei Rabba Mevarach, the great name is Mevorach, is drawn down in order to have an elevation. Ubir ha'inyan, explanation of this matter. Kine mitzvahs maisios tzurichos Allah. Now physical mitzvahs need elevation. Shelechein mevarchin lefnei kol mitzvah baruch atah Hashem. And that's why we say before each mitzvah we bless, great are you Hashem. Shehavara hu hamshacha, kenoda, that expression of speech is or the bracha is hamshach. I think it says havara, but it's probably habracha is as a hamshach, is to draw down. Like it's known from the language of someone who draws down the grapevine to plant it further in the earth. And that is the bracha, is to draw down the glimmer of the infinite light may be blessed into the action of the mitzvos. That through this it's elevated from its physicality, since we elevated. Then it's also higher than the one who actually fulfills it. You're elevated all the way up. Therefore you then receive from the mitzvah. First you elevate the concept of the mitzvah upwards, and then it goes higher than you and gives a flow to you. Baruch Ata Hashem Omrim Asher Kedishanu b'mitzvosav. Therefore, after we say, Blessed are you Hashem, that we're the ones drawing down into the mitzvah, we say, you sanctified us with your mitzvos, because that's the Hamshachim Lamayla towards us. And Asher Melashon Ba'ashri Ki Shruni Chulu, and Asher is from the language of praised, because Ki Shruni Banos, because Leah says that now the daughters will praise me. Bechinas Tainug Elyon, it's a concept of drawing down supernal pleasure. And notice how this is what Leah says, which is, I guess, an aliyah to the concept of machshava. Shesham Shorasham mitzvos, that the source of the mitzvos is in Tainug Elyon, and that's what you draw down by doing the mitzvos and saying the bracha beforehand. And that's so we then become receivers from the mitzvos, lekabel kedusha elyon zusha bahem, to receive this supernal holiness that's in them. Like it's brought in Parshas Veschanan concerning the blessings of the mitzvos over lasiyasan, before we do them. That the mitzvos that we do are an arousal from below, that we do them with physical things. Tzitzis mitzemer v'tefillin shel klaf. The tzitzis from wool, and the tefillin from the parchment, sukkah v'lulav chulu, a sukkah and a lulav, and all these physical objects. And through our doing these things below, this awakens from above that you've sanctified us, and so forth. Now, but in order to have an arousal from below, an arousal from above, you first, before all that, you draw down an arousal from above to give the potential to have the arousal from below. And this is the blessing that our sages decreed, that they're the eyes of the congregation. It's like the concept that Moshe said, let me see the land. That Moshe's seeing the land gave us the strength to elevate the land through the mitzvos, that our mitzvos, maisios, should have an effect in the Eretz HaKodesh. That was through Moshe first seeing the entire land, gave the strength for that his vision was a pola yotze to elevate the land. It's also mavur in a Mamar from the Mittler Rebbe in the end of Hanachos. Of the Mamar Admarim Sai Hanachos. Because hakoach v'hamshacha hu halus shimban shenafel b'shviras hakelim lamata, and all of this is this strength and this divine flow from above, and before all of any of the avoda is to elevate the shimban that fell down in shviras hakelim lamata, fell down and breaking of the vessels below. And look what's brought about the concept in the Mamar about these are the journeys, which the journeys in the desert is also like this idea. Then after Shemban is elevated, then it becomes elevated higher than Shema Mevaradokul that elevates it. So Ma Gematria Adam is Mevar Behema, Ban Gematria Behema, then Ban, it goes upwards higher than Ma to Sag and so forth. And similarly is this idea of what Elisha asked from Eliyahu Navi, that when Eliyahu Navi went up, you should have a double portion of his spirit upon him, which I guess is like the concept of Eliyahu. The Aliyah of Eliyahu draws down a Hamshacha higher than him. I guess that Eliyahu is like the concept of Shemban. as is known with the concept of Ana Hashem, that Al Eliyahu is the Hisorus Mein Nukvin, and Nadav Nevi, or the Amshachas Makif. In Kavanah Sari, On Halal, Vaimashikaz of Gamkin, so if the Baramaskil called Dodi, Binyan Mekapitz Alagvos, Kibbutz Bishtaim, because spread the Mamar about the voice of my beloved concerning what it says that she jumps upon the hills, which is that when you jump, with the word kibbutz means to jump with two legs. So it's not just a jump, a hop with a one leg, dilug, medaleg, and mekapitz. So medaleg would be with one leg, Lecha, and kibbutz is with two. So you have a double measure, similar to the concept of an elevation from above with one leg. Then you have jumping with two is a higher elevation, like the concept of Elish in comparison to Eliyahu. Fine, Mashikos of Dibra Maskil as Yashir, Augustus Yoshev, Bin Kriyas Yamsuf, Shamru Razal Rasa Shivchalayam Khulu. Look what's brought about the concept of as Yashir, how an Augustus is a king that of kings that sits down and doesn't stand by the splitting of the sea, that a maidservant saw in the sea what Yechezkel didn't see. Why? Ki yam alma diskasya nimsa b'china achas hayam gavor. So because the sea is the hidden world, like we're talking about here, the concept of the Hegdolah, Leah, and so forth. It's the machshava, the elevate that gets elevated. B'china achas nishamas Yisrael gavoim yoser. But on the other hand, the souls of Israel are higher than the sea. I guess the concept of Malchus, of Rachel, is higher. It has a shorsh that's higher than the Alma Diskasya that we're talking about here. Should be sure Shenem Gavoim Yosem Alma Diskasya, that in the root they're higher than the hidden world. Kamokin Binyan Ohr Hamidbar. So too, the concept of the generation of the desert, Shin Alma Diskasya, that they're from the hidden world, Hagavor Meretz Yisrael, Alma Diskalya, that they're higher than the revealed world of the land of Israel, Afal Pichin Bishor Haaretz, Hugavor Yoser Harbe. And nonetheless, in the Shoresh, in its source, the land is much higher than the desert. Kinos Sofan, because the end is tied into the beginning. Ve'eretz Kadman, the land came first in thought, in creation. Eretz Kadman L'Shamayim, and so forth. Like we're saying here, that after you do the mitzvahs go higher than you and give you hashpah. Ki alma diskasya b'chinas tfuna, because the hidden world is the concept of tfuna, the lower level of bina. Ve'eretz shusha mechachmi la, but the land, Malchus, is rooted in the supernal wisdom, like the pasuk, Kunen Shamayim B'Sfuna, B'Chachma Yasad Arts, Kunen Shamayim B'Sfuna. Kinodim Inyan B'Chachma Yasad Eretz, Kunen Shamayim B'Sfuna, V'Zeu Inyan Birchas HaMitzvos is the concept of the blessing of the mitzvos. Bruchat Hashem, the blessed are you, Hashem, drawn down, the concept of Hashpah from above, Shakoach HaNimshach L'Orah Yisrus L'Sata, that the strength that's drawn down to awaken the arousal from below, whom Bechinas Baruch is from the concept of Baruch, of the bracha of the mitzvos that comes before the mitzvah, Dahinu K'mur Shikosu Baruch Havaya Me'olam Vad Olam, like the pasuk, you are greatened or drawn down, Hashem, from the world to the world, Ma'alma Diskasya, L'Alma Diskalya, that is from the hidden world to the revealed world. And then afterwards, when we actually fulfill the mitzvos, We get sanctified by the mitzvos, Kodesh HaElyon, Kirishanu b'mitzvos of the supernal holiness, Umelamayla mebechinas Baruch Hulu, is higher than the concept of Baruch, of blessing to draw down. That Kodesh HaElyon is like the concept of Chachma in comparison to the Baruch, which would be the Bina, I guess. Ki Baruch mebechinas memala kol alamin, because the blessing is like the concept of the divinity that fills the worlds. V'kodesh soviv kol alamin, and the holy is the encompassing, that which encompasses the worlds. So it's like a yichud of soviv and memale.